Oh, hello, everybody. It's me, Santa, back again with another edition of Dear Santa, which is the podcast hosted by Santa. Oh, my goodness, I have so much fun and such a guest for you all today. Let me introduce Kassie Hilgert for those of you that don't know her. Kassie is the president and CEO of ArtsQuest, one of Pennsylvania's largest nonprofit arts organizations. Since 1984, ArtsQuest has presented more than 4,500 concerts, exhibitions, educational programs each year, with nearly 40% offered free to the community, which is amazing. Hilgert joined ArtsQuest in 2008 as Vice President of Advancement, became Senior President of Marketing and Advancement in 2010, and was unanimously appointed President and CEO in 2014 following a national search. No surprise there for me. A graduate of Penn State University and Georgetown's nonprofit executive certification program, she brings extensive expertise in marketing, development, and community engagement, with prior roles at Air Products, Good Shepherd Rehab Network, MedStar Television. Beyond ArtsQuest, Hilgert serves on several regional boards, including Discover Lehigh Valley, the PNC Regional Advisory Board, Lehigh Valley Partnership, the Lehigh Valley Economic Development Corporation, the Cedar Crest College President Advisory Council. Oh my goodness, folks, I don't know how she has time for all this. Her leadership has been recognized with numerous honors, including the Athena Leadership Award, the City and States Pennsylvania Above and Beyond Women Award, the Girl Scouts Take the Lead Award, and Bethlehem's Chamber of Commerce Priscilla Payne Hurd Award. And most recently, a place in Santa's Nice Book. So
I was going to ask
absolutely.
if that was that book. Is that
Yes,
the book?
that's the Nice Book right there. And you are in it, Kassie, so congratulations.
I'm pumped.
So how are you? How do you have so much time to do all this?
Well, Sam, I think you do a little bit more for people than I do, or even ArtsQuest does. So we're just trying to keep up with you and the misses. So thank you for all you do to bring joy to everyone around the world all year long.
Well, that's very nice of you, but we're here to talk about you, so let's focus on you. Tell me a little bit about. I've got to ask about Music Fest. You know, Mrs. Claus and I every now and then will sneak down and try to take in a concert or two. This year we got disguised. I wore a hat and sunglasses, and she wore a Hawaiian shirt, and we actually went and saw the Chicago concert, which was absolutely amazing. Do you have a favorite artist over the years that you've had and hosted at ArtsQuest? I know it's a
Do you
hard
have a
question.
favorite child? Really?
Oh, that's good. I have millions of children all over the world, so that I deliver presents to, and they're all my favorites, so I get what you're saying.
I think even before I worked at ArtsQuest, when I used to go down to Music Fest and just enjoy it myself, there was a band called Brother that was there many, many years ago, and
Okay.
that was one of those bands that I think is the magic of Music Fest. I didn't know who they were. I didn't expect to see them. When I stumbled on them, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest band I've ever heard, and I became a rabid fan. So to me, Brother's it because it encompassed what I think is the magic of Music Fest. Yes, we have the headliners. Yes, you have the favorites every year, but it's that walking around, getting smacked in the side of the head when you're going, what is that sound? And I want to know more about it.
Oh my goodness, that is fantastic. How many concerts do you think you've seen over the years with ArtsQuest and everything else? Just counting
Oh,
your time at ArtsQuest.
oh,
I was gonna say.
thousands of concerts. And, what you see there is the passion of the performing artist. And what I've learned is the difference between an Eric Clapton and the one below that doesn't get the label deal is literally luck and timing. There
Okay.
are so many good artists out there, and I would encourage anyone to go find Sellersville, the Music Fest Cafe, go to those venues, the man, go find those local artists, go find the regional artists and support them because that's where the magic is.
That's fantastic. Such good advice. Such good advice. Music is just it really does bring the whole world together.
We need it
And
more than ever.
yeah, and we got a little sneak peek of the artwork for next year for the 250th anniversary of the United States, and It looks pretty amazing. It looks pretty
Looks pretty
amazing.
amazing. Doug Bohm did it, and he, unfortunately, he did the 2020 poster, which we loved. But we couldn't think of anyone better to go back and say, take music and show what it does as we celebrate who we are. And that was the only direction. And he came up with a brilliant design.
Well, it's absolutely fantastic. So very congratulations to you and Doug on that. It looks
Can you put
great.
him on the nice list?
He already is. I have to
All
tell
right,
you.
thank you. I just want to.
I
Okay, thank
normally
you.
don't share information with other people, but
Fair,
yeah,
fair.
he is. He is. But so let's do this. Let's shift now to the holidays and to Christmas. Okay, if we can. Give me your first memories that you have as a child.
Yeah, I grew up in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I was
Okay.
actually born in New York, but
Yep.
moved down to Winston-Salem when I was 6 months old.
Yep.
And we were down the street from a Moravian church, literally. Um, Old Salem is the only other Moravian settlement in the country besides Bethlehem. So I grew up thinking every city had a Bethlehem Moravian settlement. But I remember walking with my parents from our house on Pinecroft Drive all the way up to a major road called Robin Hood Road. And we would cross that road to go to the Moravian church for the Christmas Eve service where you held the candle
Mm-hmm.
with a little red ribbon and you split the bread. I was in a dress that I hated and wanted to get out of, but we all looked proper and took beautiful photos. But I remember walking up and it was quiet, just the four of us. I think I was 4 or 5,
Wow.
and just I think feeling a little bit of the magic of Christmas on Christmas Eve.
That's so neat. I love that, and I love that you and your family would walk up there, and the peacefulness of Christmas Eve is
And there was
fantastic.
nothing worse than trying to sit still because both my
Oh
brother
my
and I are like,
goodness.
you know what's coming,
Oh
right?
my
Like
goodness.
we got to get through this.
Well, and you did very well. So you go to church on Christmas Eve, and did you have a special Christmas Eve dinner, or how did that
Oh,
work? Or
no, it was so what there was a tradition. It wasn't food. It
okay,
wasn't opening a present. Um, Albert the elf would call,
really,
and
Albert
so
called you? He never told me that.
yeah, Albert called,
Okay,
and wanted to make sure when we were there. Sometimes we were there, sometimes we weren't.
okay.
And then that's when we knew we had to get into bed. And then when we got into bed, we heard something on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was counterintuitive. I think it was trying to get us to go to sleep, and it just scared me to stay awake as long as possible because he
I'm
was there.
sure.
So our tradition on Christmas Eve was around talking to Albert, which was amazing, and I couldn't believe how many phone calls he had to make that night. And then, getting up, rushing into bed, and hearing those hoofs, and thinking, if we're not asleep, like nothing's coming. So,
Exactly.
nothing easier than a child trying to force themselves to go to sleep on Christmas Eve.
Exactly. And you tell yourself the faster you go to sleep, the faster the morning will come, but that doesn't help. And I'll
Well,
tell you that we've been working with the reindeer trying to figure out because they are not light of foot.
no.
They make a bit of noise, so we've been trying some noise dampening shoes for them, but nothing's worked. So I think we're just going to stick with what we have and hope that everyone goes to bed when they're supposed to.
Well,
So
I appreciate that, nor am I fleet of foot, so I can appreciate that. It's not easy.
and then Christmas morning, up right away. Did you have to wait until your family had their coffee or orange juice? Did you have to have breakfast first? Tell me a little bit about the excitement.
Excruciating wait. We had to wake
Yes.
up, have breakfast, have coffee, which we didn't have as kids. Just like sitting around, like looking at the
Oh
presents,
my
and
goodness.
oh yeah, and we could see. Well, let me back up a little bit. We could
Yeah.
get up and
Okay.
go see just was on the fireplace.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what Santa brought. So that was amazing, but we could not touch stockings. We could not touch Christmas presents. So you could
Okay.
just see what Santa brought.
Oh.
And then you had to wait for breakfast,
Oh.
which probably ended around 11,
Oh
11:30.
my goodness.
It was a long morning, Santa.
What did your parents do to you, you poor thing? Oh my
Laughed a
goodness.
lot. They laughed.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't. You know what? That's the first story I've heard about waiting that long.
Oh, yes. No, we
Normally,
had to wait.
yeah. Wow.
But, we just
Wow.
but we went around and we shook things and
Okay. Okay.
but like we did all that, which they didn't,
But
they didn't care about.
sure,
But
but still.
I think they were trying to teach us some patience, and
Okay.
shame to say it didn't work very well.
I was gonna say, did it rub off at all?
No,
Okay. Oh my
no.
goodness. So, all right. So you have breakfast.
Yep.
Finished about 11. then what do you do first? Do you tear right into the presents? Do you have a stocking routine?
Oh, there's a stocking routine.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
my dad was in charge of stockings, so that was
Okay.
the first thing we
Yep.
unloaded. And honestly, sometimes the stockings were so creative, inventive, they were better than some of the presents because it
Mm-hmm.
was just so cool and things you never thought of. So that would take about an hour, and then we would retire to do the presents in the living room where Dad had to have a garbage can, like before we start anything, big garbage can brought in,
For all the wrapping.
all the wrapping paper, and then either myself or my brother were Santa. So
Okay.
everybody got a gift,
Yep.
and then we all opened the gift at the same time.
Nice. That's a nice way to do that. I like that. I like
Yep.
that. That's a really nice way to do that. And I'll tell you what, the stockings, I'm so happy to hear that because probably about 75 years ago, we created the stocking department, specifically a group of elves to focus on really trying to make stockings special for people. So I'm really happy to hear
Worked.
that you like the stocking and that sometimes it felt even more special than
It,
the
it worked.
presents.
It rose in importance.
Good.
That was just stuff you didn't think you needed.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
had lip gloss for the year, you had gum for six
Absolutely.
months, you
Probably
had
some socks and underwear in there
socks
too.
and underwear,
Yep.
but it was special stuff in there.
Good. Good, good, good. I'm so happy to hear about that.
Well done.
Well, we try. We try to keep up with things. We try to be innovative and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so we
Do
do the
that
best we
life.
can. We learn. We've had many, many years of practice.
You're
So
doing a heck of
so
a job.
well, thank you. That's very kind of you. Okay, so you finish opening presents, you start to play with them a little bit, put them together. Is there other family that visit? Do you have a big family lunch? Do you go somewhere? Tell me about the rest of your Christmas day because I know the excitement. Usually, there's a little bit of a letdown for a little bit,
Well, a
but
total crash. Like you eat
yeah.
all that breakfast, you have all that. Like my parents were serving coffee to me and my brother when we were like 6 and 10. So like once that sugar fell off, that was
There you
nap
go.
time for mom and dad for us to kind of hang out.
Yeah.
Certainly some friends visited, but we were big. We were always a big football family. So
Okay.
after the presents and after you have a little lull and you put everything away because that was a big deal. Put everything
Yep.
away after you get all your presents. Then it was settling in for football and getting ready for Christmas dinner.
Nice. And Christmas dinner at the house or somewhere
Christmas dinner
else?
at the house, and it was
Okay.
a redo of Thanksgiving. It was the whole thing. It was turkey, it was stuffing, it
Nice.
was all that. It was two Thanksgivings in 2 months every year.
Nothing wrong with a good Thanksgiving.
No,
Nothing wrong
it
with a good
is.
Thanksgiving
Yep.
meal for sure. And football, were you ever able to pick up a lot of times we had Christmas Day games between the Nutcrackers and the Tin Soldiers. Were you ever able to catch those games on TV or not?
It
I don't
was
know if our
more.
broadcast got down
It
to
was
where
more
you live.
transistor radio, but we had a
Okay.
little bit of that. It was very sketchy. It was very
Okay.
sketchy. It got clearer with the Puppy Bowl. That was better broadcast,
Okay.
but we were still able to hear it.
Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, the Nutcrackers and Tin Soldiers, it's a long running rivalry. We don't really do it on Christmas Day anymore, just because everyone's so exhausted from the night.
Oh,
But it was a great game for years and years. Now they play a little bit later in January, and
something I did pick up from that Santa, I did catch some of those and became a nutcracker freak. So I
there
have
you
over a
go.
hundred of those
Oh
around
my
the house at the
goodness,
holidays. Oh yeah, if there's a nutcracker, I'm buying it.
that is fantastic. Do you just only put them out at Christmas? Because that must take a day in
Absolutely.
itself. Okay, that must take a day
Well,
in
there's
itself.
like three that stay out all year, but
Okay.
and each year is a whole strategy, right? Like I used to put them all together in like two
Mm-hmm.
places, and now we're doing a little element of discovery. We hide them around the house.
Nice, nice.
So it changes up every year, but that's where I got that desire to collect. So appreciate those games back in the
Oh,
day.
love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. And do you have again, a silly question probably, is there a favorite nutcracker right now?
Is there a favorite nutcracker? I think the first one that my parents got me to start this whole collection, almost 25 years ago, is still my favorite one.
That's wonderful.
Very traditional,
Yep.
nothing special about it. I'm sure it came from Hess's, but that's where it all started.
Well, that's so awesome. I love that. Absolutely, absolutely love that. So you talked about putting all the nutcrackers out. Now let's talk about when you decorate. Now there's certain people that as soon as Halloween is done, it's Christmas season for them. But I know you're a big Thanksgiving fan. I know you love your turkey. So do you wait until after Thanksgiving to decorate? And is it immediately after Thanksgiving, or do you have the December 1st rule? Tell me a little bit about your
Immediately.
decoration. Immediately after
Immediately after
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So all that goes. I have four decorations for Thanksgiving. Bye bye.
Okay.
And let's roll out all the Thanksgiving. So for me, that Saturday and Friday, although we have Chris Kindelmart open, so I'm
Yep.
down there a little bit, but that Saturday and Sunday after Thanksgiving, everything's got to be set and ready to go.
Good. Good, good, good. I'm happy to hear that. Christmas music playing in the background, maybe a Christmas
So
movie
Christmas
on.
music starts the day it is on XM. Like as soon as it's there, that is what I'm playing until the first week of January. That
That
is
might
the
be,
station I listen
I
to.
think it might be on soon. I
Oh,
wouldn't be surprised if they're
I
starting
I
very
will be there.
soon.
That is all that is on.
Okay. And then,
Love it.
okay, so Christmas music, favorite song. Do we have a favorite Christmas song?
Oh, that is, I have 100 of them, but I have to say, probably my most favorite is the Sarah McLachlan Bare Naked Ladies rendition
Love
of God
that.
Rest You Merry Gentlemen.
Oh my goodness, that is one of my favorites. I just discovered that a few years ago,
Right?
and always been a big Sarah McLachlan fan. Always loved the Bare Naked Ladies, and it
Right? And then
is, yep.
you put all them together, you got the harmonizing, and then her voice is rising in the back, and they're
And
doing their regular
the
singing, and it's,
stand-up bass that you can hear playing.
yes,
Oh, that is,
it
you know what? That's been one of the most underrated Christmas songs I think in history, and it is a
completely
classic.
agree with you.
Yep, it is an absolute classic. That
It is
that that is one of my favorite, and then also Bing Crosby "White Christmas" is one of my favorite. Just his sultry, smooth voice that he has
okay.
back in the day. Um,
Okay.
I support Mariah, and a lot of people say
Well, we have to.
when they hear Mariah, then then it's
Yeah,
Christmas for them. I actually spoke to in our last podcast we just put out somebody that Kendall Conrad, who has performed
absolutely.
a number of times, I think, over at Music Fest, and
Yes, she
we're
has.
encouraging her to get a Christmas song put together. So hopefully
Christmas
that's going to
album.
happen. It's something, yeah. So hopefully that'll
She
happen
needs a whole
soon.
album.
Absolutely,
I
I agree.
I would take second is Greg Legg and Father Christmas. That is
Ooh,
another sleeper for me.
okay. I don't know that one. I'm gonna have to look that up now.
I believe in
Okay,
Father Christmas. It's a little bit of a downer,
okay.
but
Well,
again, love the whole feel of it, the orchestral feel. It's a movement.
nice. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna absolutely check that out. Let's shift now. Let's shift back to food a little bit. So I remember you leaving some wonderful cookies out for me at Christmas time. Do you
That was
have
my
a
mom, but thanks.
well? I'm sure you ate a few as she was
Helped.
cooking.
I
So
helped.
yeah, you got rid of the bad ones and ate those. And so tell me, Cassie, do you have a current favorite Christmas cookie? Did you have a favorite one as a kid?
No, but what we did have was my grandmother had the most spectacular peanut brittle recipe that we as a family would make for weeks before Christmas as our gift to many people. Haven't made it for years, but that peanut brittle to me was the best cookie in the world, and it still tastes like Christmas. Chock full of peanuts. So many
Nice.
peanuts.
That sounds so good. We actually are thinking about putting together a book with listeners' cookie recipes. So maybe we'll have to get that peanut brittle recipe for you and highlight that in our book because
I'd love
a
that. It was
great peanut brittle.
spectacular.
Yep, a great peanut brittle is
Yep.
hard to find.
Not easy to do. That's like it's a little scary with the temperature and how hot it
Yes.
has to be and where it
Yes.
has to go. So there was certainly some words that may have not gotten us into the nice book, but it turned out great.
Well, everyone says those words every now and then, and as long as you still have a good heart and do your best, then that's what we care about. That's what gets you in the nice
Absolutely,
book.
Santa.
So, one other Christmas-related question: I know you're a music buff, but are you a movie buff at all? Do you enjoy a good Christmas movie?
Love movies. I'm not sure I've got a Christmas movie.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm I'm not going to be popular for saying this. I'm not. All right. So, what is your favorite Christmas movie, Santa?
It depends on the day, to be honest with you. I mean, if
Okay.
I'm looking for a comedy, I will watch Elf because I think
Elf,
I think
absolutely.
Will Ferrell's very funny, and he's on the
Everybody in
nice
that.
list forever for that movie. I've got to be in the mood for It's a Wonderful Life because it does make
Never
me
got that movie. That's what
a
I'm
little
afraid of.
sad, but I've got to.
Yeah, I don't get that movie.
Yeah, I mean, it ends nicely, but it's rough sometimes through. But I've got to be in the mood for it.
Right.
I do like a good White Christmas because of Bing
Oh,
Crosby.
sure.
I love the dancing and Danny Kaye and he do in that movie, and there's a really wonderfully made cartoon called Claus, and it's
Oh,
Klaus,
yes.
and I think it's on Netflix, which I really enjoyed. That just came out a few years ago. Love that. Um, Kurt Russell makes me a little jealous with how he looks in his fancy Santa suit in Christmas
He's
Chronicles.
got nothing on you, Santa. Please, that's all
Well,
makeup and personal trainer.
I
That doesn't count.
appreciate that, but
Yeah, he doesn't.
he
No.
does a nice job in the Christmas Chronicles. It's a different kind
Yeah,
of
that's
take on
fair.
Santa, with the red leather and everything else. And he does it. So I really enjoy them all. I know they are all caricatures of Santa. Some of my favorites are those old 1960s movies, the Rudolphs, the
Yeah, I'm going back to those TV shows like
yeah,
Charlie Brown, Rudolph
yeah,
the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa
Year
Claus is
Without
coming
a
to
Santa
town. Like
Claus. Yeah.
I watch all those every year.
Okay, well we'll count those as movies. Those
Okay,
could be
fair.
your
All right.
movies.
That
Yeah,
that counts.
I would love to get my hands on some of the old claymation pieces if they still
Right.
had them in fact, but
Want to be a dentist.
yeah. Oh, Hermie is the best. Hermie is the best.
Land of
But
Misfit Toys, man.
yep,
Who
that's a
didn't
great.
who didn't understand that and identify with that at some point in their life?
Exactly. Exactly. But well, good. We'll count those as your movies, and those
Thank
are
you.
because those are
Thanks, Santa.
wonderful. And I don't know. You're fairly young, so you probably weren't. You probably weren't when they only showed them once a year. You might have been, a
No, I
little.
was there.
Okay. Okay. Well, you
No, I
don't
had the
look it.
footy
Okay.
pajamas. Like
Yep.
we got ready and we were laying on the floor waiting for those three shows to come on in a row. Nope.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
That was childhood.
That I wish children experience that now
Right?
instead of on demand. There should be ones that you
Yes.
can only
Over and
see
over
once a
again.
year and make it special. But,
Strawberries.
that's
Like cantaloupe, right? Like we should just
exactly.
get that a couple months a year.
Exactly. But that's kind of old man Santa yelling at those kids in his yard, when I think about those things. But so let me ask you a little bit about, you mentioned Chris Kindlemart. Do you want to talk a little bit about, because that's coming up soon for you all, and do you want to talk about anything you want to talk about that's going to be happening down at Arts Quest and Chris Kindlemart and everything else?
Yeah.
This is your
It,
your your time.
I appreciate that. Chris Kinnemart, opens the weekend before Thanksgiving. It's that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday of Thanksgiving, and then Thursday to Sunday. We're particularly excited this year because we're expanding with a new Winter Wonderland down on the
Ooh.
Levitt Lawn.
Okay.
So we have a whole new area. We're bringing back the live music that used to be at
Nice.
Chris Kinnemart. So there'll be about 70 performances on the Levitt stage. We're
Wow.
going to show the old Christmas movies on the Levitt big screen there. We're going to have a nice big area for people to sit there. And then, all due respect, Santa, because I know how
It's
busy
okay.
you are,
It's
we have
okay.
a whole new St. Nick area that we're building.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
brand new, bigger, grander opportunities to have pictures with your pets, with your kids, with your family.
Wonderful.
So, extending Chris Kinnemart all the way down to the Winter Wonderland on the Levitt Lawn. We're very excited about huge new decorations. We have a 50-foot Bethlehem lit sign for people to take photos of in
Oh my
front of
gosh, that's wonderful.
for their holiday cards. And of course, it's not just Chris Kinnemart, right?
Yep.
So, Bethlehem is magical at Christmas.
Yes.
And what we love is telling patrons, thanks for coming. Make sure you go to the historic Moravian district and vice versa. So, what we want is for people to take in the true magic of Bethlehem, where every vendor, every business owner, every crafter takes the time in those 5 weeks to make sure there's a magical sense. And we're honored to be a part of what is true Christmas spirit in Bethlehem.
Well, that is wonderful, and thank you for that, Cassie. Thank you for all that you guys do, because Bethlehem is my home away from home. When I'm out of the North Pole, I love it down there. I love the Christmas spirit, and I do know, a lot of the folks do push people both ways, both from
That's
to
right.
Chris Mark and to historic downtown Bethlehem.
Two
And
distinct experiences,
yeah,
and you
it
should
really
experience them
is.
both.
It really is, from what I understand, and I think that's great. And I had heard recently, I think I read in the newspaper that there's something happening with buses, that people will be able to catch a bus from one side to the
Yes,
other, which is
yes.
really great. And we're excited for Christmas. I'm excited to come to Bethlehem. I'm going to visit Bethlehem a few times in
Well,
December as
yeah, I know
well.
you've got some friends who have a shop on Main Street. They've done a tremendous job with that, so I'm hoping you're going to be able to make a
I
stop in there.
I do, and they've asked me. Bethlehem's asked me to do their tree lighting on the Friday after Thanksgiving, and then
That is a
also
great
it's
tradition.
really neat. And I did it last year and loved it. And then also I'll be outside of I think it's a place called the Sun Inn where George Washington once stayed, and
Yes, he
and
did.
and I'll get to meet some little ones and fans of Christmas of all ages out there. So that'll be a lot of fun. But Chris
Be
Kindle
great. We're
Market.
so glad you're coming.
Absolutely. But Chris Christkindl Market. What a great, it sounds like amazing things. Mrs. Claus and I, if we can get away, which might be tough, might have to sneak down for a movie and some music. Will they be Christmas songs, do you think, most of the music?
No question.
Okay.
No question. This is carols. This is all what we used to do in the old Chris Kindelmart setup. We are
Good.
bringing that back. So it's school groups, it's community groups, it's
Oh,
individual
wonderful.
musicians. It's all coming back.
That's so amazing. I love that, Kassie. I love what you're doing down there. It's so great. One question, and not to use my power as Santa, but we have a little performing group up at the North Pole called the Jingle Bells. Now, how would they go and audition for Music Fest? Because I think they could, they're probably not main stage ready just yet, but should they submit a video to you or an audio? Can I arrange for
There's a
that?
link on our website
Okay.
where anybody can upload their video and apply.
Okay.
And we listen to every single submission. So for
Okay.
Music Fest, we'll get up to 2,000 submissions for the free stages.
Wow. Okay.
We have a committee made up of staff and volunteers who listen to every single one.
That's
So I
amazing.
would strongly encourage them to submit for either Music Fest or Chris Mart or Oktoberfest
Okay.
or any other time of the year because we have many free stages throughout
All
the
right.
entire year, not just a Music Fest.
Very good. Well, the hard thing is Christmas time. They're a little busy building toys.
I can only
The
imagine.
performing is kind of a hobby that they love, but they'd like to try to start performing away from the North Pole. So yeah, I'm going to bring that back to them and see if we can get the Jingle Bells down at Music Fest a little bit. They're a
I would love
wonderful,
that, and I hope Santa you'll approve their PTO.
absolutely, they're a wonderful little
Okay.
group. So
Oh,
we're
wonderful.
excited. So last question for you, Kassie, and we'll let you go. Do you have any Christmas hopes or wishes for this year?
Gosh, peace and unity.
Okay.
I would hope for this year that we can all pause with all that is going on in the world and realize that when we come together and experience things next to each other versus on our phones, and we talk to one another and we look each other in the eye, we probably realize we have more in common than we have differences. And we could use a little bit more of the Christmas spirit, which I've
Yes.
learned just because I celebrated Christmas. I know what that means to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned from my friends who celebrate other holidays that they have the same spirit of celebration and wanting for peace and unity. So I wish that all of us during this time could take those moments and those holidays we hold so dear and realize that actually we're all celebrating the same thing. We may call it something else, but it's the same thing in unity, in family, in connecting with one another, in pausing and just stopping for a moment and looking at each other sincerely and connecting with each other.
I don't think anyone could say it any better, Kassie. That is amazing and wonderful, and I thank you for that. And I wish you and all of yours a very Merry Christmas and wonderful holiday season and great success, continued success. And I thank you, Kassie Hilgert, for being on Dear Santa. It was a pleasure. You're on the nice list. Keep up the good work, okay?
Thank you so much, Santa. My best to the missus and all the elves, and we can't wait for this holiday season. Thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you so much, Kassie. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, what a great interview with Kassie Hilgert from ArtsQuest. So, everybody, we've got a new thing that we're going to try this week. We've been getting letters from people, and I really appreciate it. But we're going to try a little partnership with our sponsor, the Dear Santa store on Main Street in Bethlehem. So what I would love everybody to do is email me a description or picture of your favorite Christmas ornament or favorite Christmas piece of memorabilia. Describe it. Tell me about it. Why is it special to you? If you can get a picture on there, please do that as well. Email it to historicdearsanta@gmail.com, and we are going to pick one of the submissions for a gift card to Dear Santa, a $25 gift card. They were nice enough at the shop to donate some gift cards to us, so we want to be able to give those away. So if everybody can take a minute, think about their favorite Christmas item, whether it be an ornament, memorabilia, a little statue, anything that really reminds you of Christmas, and tell us a little story about it. And then again, we will pick them out and give somebody a $25 gift card. Please email those to historicdearsanta@gmail.com, and we look forward to seeing what everyone wants to share with us, and we'll pick a winner and announce it during one of the future podcasts. Thank you guys so much. Merry Christmas. Please listen, like, watch, subscribe. Send it to your friends. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. I appreciate you. Merry Christmas. We'll see you soon.